Hello everybody, so for today's video, I'll be showing you all how I got this flapper girl look for Halloween. I decided on a flapper gal because this was the golden time when women started gaining more independence. So with that being said, let's get right into the tutorial. To cover all my imperfections, I'll be using the Wet n Wild concealer in the shade Light Medium Beige. Now gently blend the concealer into the skin. For this particular step, I prefer using a brush instead of a beauty blender because it helps blend better into the skin in my opinion. The product that'll be used to set 1/3 portion of my brows is the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit Cosmetics. I usually do this first because I want that area to be super laid up. This just gives the brows a more quote natural look, giving it a fake effect that my brows are naturally laid up. To fill in all those sparse areas on my brows, I'll be using my Anastasia Brow Definer. If your brows are looking a little bit too dark, just go ahead and brush it with a spoolie. I'm using the other side of my Anastasia Brow Definer pencil. Back to using the Wet n Wild concealer, I'll be using this to prime my eyelids and blending that out with a dry beauty blender. So for the first eyeshadow palette that we'll be using is the Beige Cosmetics in collaboration with Shan XO. I'm using this orangey yellow shade and I'll be blending this onto my crease and eyelids. As for the second eyeshadow palette we'll be using is the Morphe 15D Day Slayer palette. Going into this palette, I'm using the shade called Natural and blending this with the orange yellowy shade that is already on my eyes. And to blend this, I'm just using the window wiper motion. To give the eyes more contrast, I'll be using the shades called Editor and Define from the same Morphe palette, and blending these two shades onto the outer corner of the eyes. As for the last eyeshadow palette we'll be using is the Tarteist Pro palette. I'm just using the shade called Classic and laying that shade on the eyelids. To add some shimmer into the eyes, I'll be using Tony Moly's Eye Tone Glitter Individual Single Shadow in the shade called G03, and this is just a champagne pop color. To apply this, I'm using my ring finger and placing that on my eyelids. Since I'm leaning towards a more softer eyeliner look today, I'll be using the shade called Sweet, which is a dark brown shade from the Morphe 15D Day Slayer palette, and I'm just going to be drawing my wing with this. I kept the eyes pretty simple. I wanted to add more glitter. So for glitter, I'll be using Ulta Beauty's Cosmic Gel in the shade called Gravity. The formula is pretty chalky and dry, but it's still blendable. To even out the color on my face, I'll be using my one and only favorite Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation in the shade called 320 Bisque. Now just blend that with a damp beauty blender because Miss Flapper Girl cannot have unblended foundation sitting on her skin. Now to conceal and highlight, I'll be using the Wet n Wild Photofocus Concealer once again, and I'm just highlighting all the high points of my face. Then carefully blend out everything with a beauty blender. To add some warmth back into the skin, I'll be using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil matte bronzer in the shade called Medium Deep. To set everything in place, I'll be powdering my face with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in the shade called Transparent. For a valorous look, I'll be using the Kiss Lashes in the style called Shy. For today's video, I decided to add some bottom fake lashes, and these lashes are actually from Daiso. I'm very happy to say that because bottom lashes could be pretty expensive. Flopper girls are always blushing, so I'm going to be adding blush onto the cheeks, and for today's blush, I'll be using Essence Satin Touch Blush in the shade called Satin Coral. Since everything is nearly almost finished, I'm going to be setting my brows and curling my fake and real lashes together. Every flapper gal's cheeks should always be glowing, so for that reason, I'll be using MAC Cosmetics Soft and Gentle Mineralize Skin Finish Powder. To get pink rosy lips, I'll be using Milani's lipstick in the shade called Matte Tender. Now I'm adding these fancy earrings to make the look more resplendent and valorous. To add more color onto the lips, I'll be using the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade called Icon. Using a cotton puff, I'm taking off the excess product. I'm using the Tony Moly Eye Tone Glitter once again, and I'm putting this onto the inner corner of my eyes to brighten them up. To brighten up those inner corners even more and make them seem like they're diamonds, I'll be using Ulta Beauty's Cosmic Gel. Alright, and we have came to the ending segment of this video. If you guys did like this flapper girl look, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. With that being said, I'll see you all in my next video.